Barnstable iForum on this episode of Barnstable Today. I'm Sarah Colvin. We've debuted a brand new Friday morning segment on Barnstable This Morning, which will feature a discussion about our new interactive website, Barnstable iForum, each week. Today, I welcome Principal Planner Elizabeth Jenkins in studio. Elizabeth is on our iForum team here in town. Let's watch highlights from today's interview. Pleased to welcome live in studio Elizabeth Jenkins. She's a Principal Planner in town and also works with us on the iForum team. Good morning.
Thanks for having me, Sarah.
No problem. This is so fun. I love having live guests in studio now that we have our new funky set.
So I know. It's great to sit in these great chairs.
Exactly. So, of course, you have worked with me and several other people here in town on the iForum team. Talk to me about what your experience is like and how you got involved working with us.
Well, it's been, Barnstable iForum has been a really fun experiment to be involved with. I think this is a pretty unique thing in town government everywhere. So myself as a planner with the Growth Management Department have experience in public participation processes. So the acting town manager asked me to join the team to help start this new project.
Great, and it really has been. It's been really interesting, and as you say, an experiment. And I think that's a good word to use because it really is. I mean, this is brand new. It's something that has been tried in other communities, but not here on Cape Cod. And I think our participation really has been great. And I pulled some statistics off the site this morning. So far, we have 220 participants, which is awesome. They have 102 ideas, 456 comments,
wow.
Which is pretty crazy.
I think we've all been surprised at how much participation we've had right off the bat. It's really been telling that there are people out there who do want to speak. And
exactly, and I really was surprised. I mean, I knew that people were going to jump on right away and start talking, but I don't think I expected to have 220 people in the first month that we were up and running. Absolutely. And if people are tuning in and they don't know what we're talking about, this is our new virtual town hall website. There's an image of it up there on the screen right now. It's barnstableiforum.com, and essentially what it is you can go on and share your thoughts and ideas about town. We've got 6 topics up there now and a poll question, and the topics range from news and information to the dog park, bicycle improvements, getting around Barnstable, a transportation question, strengths and vision 2030. And in looking at it, the things that have gotten the most traction, the most ideas, there's 30 ideas underneath news and information, which actually kind of surprised me. I thought that would be one of the kind of lower ranking ones that people wouldn't have a lot to say, but people have a lot to say about that one.
Sure. I mean, this government 2.0, it's all about communication between citizens and the government, and it seems like you've done so much here, and people are really responding to that.
Exactly, which is great. And then, of course, Vision 2030, which falls underneath, I think, our whole growth management planning umbrella, to see 28 ideas under there. And people really are, I think the idea that's gotten the most traction underneath there is the beaches. I've seen a lot about the beaches.
A lot of comments about that, Sarah, some very strong feelings. Obviously, it's one of the most unique things about Barnstable, so I'm not surprised that people have a lot of comments, but I think it's a good example of the public identifying some issues that the town really wasn't aware of, and so I think that the comments on those beaches will be a good thing to watch to see if it really does result in policy changes here at Town Hall.
Exactly, and then you bring up a good point too, people bringing up things that the town really wasn't aware of, and of course all of us here in town can have ideas as to where we want to go, where we want to move forward, where things can be improved, but of course without hearing from a large quantity of the citizens, we really don't know. And of course people attend public meetings, they watch on television, they get involved that way, but I think this provides even more of an opportunity for people because they can log on 24/7.
Exactly, and people are busy. We do understand that. They don't always have the opportunity to come to those meetings, but it's very easy to sign up for Barnstable iForum. It only takes a minute, and very easy to just click second and share your vote on an idea or topic.
Exactly. So talk to me, of course, as a planner and working in the growth management department. Tell me how you kind of envision a way to utilize the comments and the ideas that people are bringing up.
Sure. Well, one of the big things we do, that I do in the growth management department, is comprehensive planning processes, which really is a vision for our town, for our villages, and where we're going forward. And of course, online participation will never substitute for our traditional village meetings, neighborhood meetings, but I think it'll be a good way to, again, garner information that'll really support some of the plans that eventually lead to policy changes in the town.
Exactly, and of course we started out because we didn't know what the reaction was going to be from the public. We didn't know, where this was going to go, if people were going to pick up, if maybe it was going to be, a case where we threw it up and tumbleweeds go across and nobody's on there talking. So I think that as we were working to craft the questions and the ideas that were up there, we wanted to keep it more on a generic level, which is why we have things like, what do you want the town to look like in 2030, and how could you improve traffic, and tell us how you get your news and information. But do you envision taking things that you're working on in the planning department, working with other people in your department, and kind of crafting more pointed and specific questions that you really do want input on?
Exactly, Sarah, and I think the poll question that we have up right now from the schools is a very good example of that, a very specific issue that administration would like public feedback on. The question is, would you like school to start before or after Labor Day? So again, very specific to an issue that administration is considering, and something that hopefully I think will weigh into their decision making.
Exactly, and that's a new facet of our forum that we've introduced is the poll question. It's brand new, and it supplements not only here you can go on it and post your ideas, but we want you to vote. So we're asking people vote. Do you want school to start before Labor Day? Do you want school to start after Labor Day? And there's also a portion of that in there where you can comment on it as well. So you can say, okay, I voted, this is why I voted this way, and this is how I feel strongly. It's interesting, I looked at that just this morning. Most of the people are saying they want to start after Labor Day.
Okay.
It's really interesting. But we only have 24 votes on that so far, so I'd like to see more people get involved.
Sure, and I would definitely encourage it. There's been some comments up there to the effect of, is the town really listening to Barnstable I-Forum? And I know that we pay a lot of attention to it, and just in speaking with other department heads, I know they do too. So I think we're really looking to this poll question as a test to see what people think, and all eyes are really on Barnstable I-Forum right now.
Exactly, and that's another topic I wanted to talk about while you're here today too, is the response. And I think that's definitely something that we are working on here in town. Of course, you and I are watching. I know our acting town manager, Tom Lynch, is paying attention. I know that several other department heads, our director of finance, our director of Public Works is listening as well, and they have all been turned into client admins, which is something that people will see, and I know people have seen me commenting on there, and it highlights it in blue, and it has a first name, last name, and has the person's town position, so we know that they're listening. And I've gotten some great feedback from people who say, okay, we see that the people are listening, and so I'll reassure the I-Forum community that we definitely are watching, and all of the town department heads are paying attention, just working on a way to properly respond and properly craft those responses.
Sure. And admittedly, I think that we maybe weren't as prepared for the volume of responses that are out there on I-Forum right now. So we are playing a little bit of catch up, exactly figuring out how everyone is going to respond from a town perspective. But I think the team we're working with, Mind Mixer, is really giving us some great tools to be able to communicate, and hopefully we'll see that roll out in the next couple weeks.
Exactly. So if our viewers have not yet signed up for Barnstable I-Forum, we definitely encourage you to do so. It's a great way to go on and see what your fellow neighbors are talking about. It's just barnstableiforum.com, and again, as you said, really easy to sign up. You can create a username and password. You can also use your Facebook to sign up.
Right.
So it's really easy. And another thing I think is really interesting about it is not only are you sharing your ideas with the town officials, you're also sharing them with your fellow community members. And I've seen some great interaction between people who may not have connected before and who have very similar thoughts or even opposing thoughts, and they're able to talk about that and discuss it.
Sure. Interest groups forming online, and we're definitely watching that to see, what kind of topics are people interested in and what kind of questions might be on our Barnstable I-Forum in the future.
Exactly. Well, Elizabeth, thank you so much for joining me today. It's been a pleasure.
Thank you for having me.
No problem. I'm sure we'll see you again as this I-Forum develops.
Thanks, Sarah.
Thank you so much. Next week, we'll be talking about the town's beaches, a hot topic on the Barnstable I-Forum. We welcome Community Services Director Lynn Poyant. With Barnstable Today, I'm Sarah Colvin.